Are you looking to swap your inbox for an infinity pool this summer? We have teamed up with F&P Travel to give one lucky SheerLuxe reader the chance to win the ultimate getaway, a 4-night stay for 2 at the 5-star Oku Bodrum, one of Turkey's most exclusive and design-led resorts. With flights included, every detail's been taken care of. This is your chance to indulge in laid-back luxury on the Aegean Sea, and won't cost you a thing to enter. Plus, the winner gets a chance to choose an unforgettable experience during their stay: the scenic cycle trails, exploring the ancient ruins, or learning how to master Turkish cuisine with a private cooking class. It's totally free to enter, and you can enter as many times as you like. Head to SheerLuxe.com to enter now.
On today's episode of the SheerLuxe Podcast, we are talking hottest celebrity moments, where we really get into the Coldplay concert drama.
If only they hadn't reacted like that, because their spouses are not sitting at home watching live streams of the Coldplay Jumbotron.
We discuss favourite fashion finds, including some amazing sheer shirting.
I've bought a really nice sheer Chloe-esque blouse from Zara, which is like 30 quid.
I love the books that you need to have on your agenda for the next couple of months, including Elizabeth Day's brilliant new novel, One of Us.
A companion piece to an earlier novel I wrote called The Party, which came out in 2017.
Can I just say?
Yes, Billie.
I loved it so much. And we answer your dilemas.
I mean, I also am a reformed people pleaser, and I still struggle with it.
We hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the SheerLuxe Podcast. I'm your host, Billie Bhatia, and today I'm joined by Hodge and best-selling author and podcast host of How to Fail, Elizabeth Day. Yay! We're diving into everything new and noteworthy this week, from what's trending on SheerLuxe to celebrity moments, fashion finds, your dilemmas, and more. This week, we have a competition with Beauty Effect. You can win the Luxe Collection, which includes a selection of bestsellers and is worth £589. To enter, please comment below what your favourite part of the podcast is and why. We'll then choose a lucky winner and announce it in the next week's podcast. Please read the terms and conditions in the notes before entering. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and keeps you up to date with all of our latest contents. But first of all, I want to know what you are both wearing.
Other than a sheen of sweat, because it's incredibly muggy.
It's muggy.
It's muggy, and I don't appreciate it, and neither does my hair. But apart from that, what I'm wearing is a linen blazer from M&S. But M&S Men's.
Love that.
And I love a blazer all year round, but this is such a nice lightweight one for this kind of weird weather where you almost need to wear 5 different outfits at once.
Yeah.
Then I'm wearing a lace silk camisole from an Australian brand called Witchery.
Oh.
And they're amazing. And I believe they might be about to launch in the UK. And the reason I've got this top, sorry, you didn't expect that I was going to already go off on a tangent.
I used to shop Witchery when I lived in Singapore because it's Aussie brand, so they had it there. But I haven't heard that name for years.
I love their stuff. And the reason I know about it is because Danny Minogue came on my podcast, How to Fail.
Yeah.
And she's such a lovely person. She had brought with her 2 massive bags of clothes that Witchery wanted to gift to me. She brought it in her own luggage.
Oh my God.
Flown it from Australia. Mega babe. And so I've got this lovely camisole. And then I'm wearing white, they're called palazzo pant jeans from Frame. And then I've got a pair of Aligne mesh ballet flats that make it look as if I fished my own feet. And I bought them on Vinted, and I was extremely smug about myself.
Yes, you should be.
I want to find Aligne shoes on Vinted.
You actually can. And it was one of those negotiations where I made an offer.
Yes.
And then the offer was rejected, but then I made another one and that was accepted. And I was like, look at me haggling my way into a designer wardrobe.
I'm basically a city trader. Look at me.
Exactly.
I'm too much of a people pleaser. I'm like, whatever you want, I'll just give it to you. Hodge, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a white short suit from Reese. Got a really interesting cut of the blazer, a body underneath from Skims, and shoes from Augusta the Label. I think they're a Spanish brand. Earrings are by Alana.
I've gone M&S heavy too. I've got this Jaeger crochet jumper from M&S. Earrings are also M&S. Jeans are ASOS Arrange.
Love the
And
jeans.
these little shell sandals are Ancient Greek. Let's dig into new and noteworthy.
Okay, my first up is the reason I look a bit dusty this morning, because this is Monday morning and this will go out on Thursday. So be kind to me in the comments because it took a lot to get out of bed this morning, put makeup on. We just went on a weekend away for James's and another friend of ours' birthdays to Cannes. And we went to this infamous lunch spot called La Guérite. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
Yes.
Oh my God, it is, you've got to go. It's a bucket list tick off once in your life. It is so, you go to places and they really want you to have a good time. Like, they really encouraged us
Wine
to
is
like
water.
dance on tables and just have the best time.
And what was the food like?
It's sort of the same type of food you get in all of those restaurants, you get like the pasta, like yummy starters, and then we just shared pasta and steak and a big fish. There was 17 of us.
Oh, wow.
Heaven.
So it was a lot.
What's the location? Is it like beachfront vibe?
Yeah, so you fly to Nice and then it's an hour to Cannes. So we
Yeah.
went for 2 nights. So we stayed in like a really reasonable hotel. I can't remember the name, Phil, but put it in the links below. We did dinner at LPM on the Friday night, which is really fun. It's in like this amazing old building. And we sat outside on the like veranda for dinner. And then we went upstairs because Zuma has a restaurant on the rooftop there. So we went upstairs and just hung out on the terrace at Zuma, which was so fun. Lots of margaritas were consumed. It's great people watching.
Yeah.
It's really extra.
I've only been to Cannes once for the film festival.
Yeah.
And it kind of blew my mind because you can sort of see how the rest of it looks like the rest of the year. Like
Yeah.
a bit like oldie kind of everything. It's a tiny bit crumbling.
Yeah.
And then you just get this parade of like couture. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
is madness.
And so chic. It's a bit sort of like Alain Melrose Place. Like you're walking down the boulevard and there's like palm trees and then there's like Dior, Chanel, like these amazing
Yeah.
shops.
Celine, supercars.
Yes. and like these incredible cars. I mean, it's so bougie. On the Saturday, we went to this spot. So there's 2 sittings. And my top tip is you need to get the 3 p.m. sitting.
Okay.
Because otherwise they throw you off the table. But if you have the 3 p.m. sitting, then you're there until like 8.
And were you there tonight?
We were there till 8. But you get a tender across. So it's on an island called Sainte Marguerite. So the restaurant organises shuttle tenders. So you go back and forth. It's like 10 minutes. But it's just quite extra to turn up to a restaurant on boats.
Yeah, definitely. It sets the tone, doesn't it?
Sets the tone.
Yeah.
Everyone was really up for just a really good fun day. So we really made the most of it.
What did you do at 8 p.m. after your sitting? Because by that stage, I'm imagining there's been a bit of day drinking and you're just
It's a
feeling
lot of day
like,
drinking.
yes,
Yeah.
I need to go home and have a bath.
Yes, shower. So we went back to the hotel,
Yeah.
had a quick shower, and then we just went and found like a bar on the waterfront. But we were going to try and get into Zuma, but we were like, you know what? I don't think they're going to want us in there. Like, we don't look that fresh. But it's only an hour and a half flight, so it's really doable for a weekend.
Sounds so fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And my other thing is I've just read a really good book by Florence Knapp called The Names. You heard of it?
I've heard lots
heard of it,
of good
yeah.
stuff about that.
It's
yeah.
so good. It's her debut, and it's about a woman called Cora who has a child, and she's on her way to the government office to register the name. And she has 3 names that she's considering. She's in an abusive marriage. So there's the name that her husband wants, the name that her daughter wants, her first child, and the name that she wants. So it's sort of like a sliding doors. They take the 3 names and then you follow the life of what the boy would be if that was his name. It's just so well written. It's gorgeous. I cried, I laughed. It's like a really lovely summer read. It's like good for your soul. I'd really recommend that.
All right, adding that to the
Yeah,
list.
it's really, really good. Amazing how what your name is has such an impact.
Yeah, well, no one calls you by your name,
No.
do they?
No one calls me Sarah apart from my mum.
I totally agree. I also have recently got into doing ChatGPT numerology readings.
Oh my God.
With your birth date and your birth name.
Wow.
And it is extraordinarily accurate.
No way.
I promise you, I've done it for so many people I know, all of my family members, my husband. The only year that it hasn't worked for, and I don't know whether it's something about this year, is 1946. So the one it did for my dad and for my therapist. Because I spoke to her about it. She was like, oh, I'd be
me.
really interested. Yeah. And they're both born in 1946 and they're not quite right. But everyone else has been spot on.
And what is it like describing their personality?
Yeah, if you use a specific prompt, which I can give you afterwards,
lush.
it describes your soul urge, your life number, which is sort of how you present in the world, and your strengths and your potential challenges.
So
Love
it's
that.
kind of like a human design.
Yes, I found it even better than human design,
Really?
actually. Yeah.
I want to do this right now.
I know. Can we pause, babe?
Yeah. It's amazing. It blew my mind. And then I did my husband, because generally you think, oh, but they'll probably just say generic things that
Yeah.
could apply to anyone.
Yeah.
Did my husband, it was completely different and so spot on. And then it was like, this is why you're complementary. He's a builder. That's one of it. That's his master number.
Yeah.
Is 4, the builder. And mine is, I think, 1 or 0, which is a spiritual. It's a spiritual number. And it's the creator.
Yeah.
And so I can have a vision of something and he knows how to build it. So that's why it's a really
that's
good
so
partnership.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amongst other reasons.
Oh my God. Obsessed. Okay, we need to do that.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we need the prompt. Can we put the prompt in the comments after this or in the...
Yes, we absolutely can.
Okay.
Okay, fab.
Because everyone's going to want to do
Yeah.
this, right? I'm itching
Yeah.
to do it
I
right
know,
now.
right now, babe, right now. Anyway, this book is so good. And it really makes you think about what you name your children and like how important that is.
I was at a family thing this weekend and I was sat next to, she's my, let's just call her a cousin. There was loads of babies around the table and she was like, have you got kids' names? I was like, oh, I've got one. And I've had it for probably like 15 years. She's like, go on then, say it. And I said it and she said, that's the exact same one I wrote down when I was 10. How mad is that?
Oh
Now it's
my
going to be a
God.
fight to the
Yeah, and I
death.
said, I'm older than you, I get first dibs. Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
it was Aurora, but I would always call her Rory.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
that. I've
that
got
was
a
so
daughter called
nice.
Aurora.
100%, that's what I wrote down. I was like, no, where?
Right down to
Oh
the
my
Rory of
God.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you think she
Yeah.
just said it though? Because she was like, I like that name. Like, I like that. It's like when people say, I love your top. It's in my basket. You know,
Oh.
and you're like, okay, is it? Is it in your basket?
Her face like flinched as I said it. And that's when I was
Okay.
like, oh, wow, you actually, that was your name. She's
yeah.
like, but I think it's probably a lot of people that grew up in the Gilmore Girls era have probably got that
yeah.
name in there. Although I didn't
Again,
actually watch
I'm
that.
too
No,
old
I
for
didn't
Gilmore
like-
Girls.
no, I didn't
I'm
watch
too
that.
old for the second time round and I'd missed it the first time
Yeah,
round.
same.
Yeah.
Same.
What is your new and noteworthy?
My new and noteworthy are things that I have watched. So I've just got into the Apple series, Your Friends and Neighbours.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
John
yeah,
Hamm.
With
yeah.
John Hamm. Now, I was resistant to it because I tend to steer clear of scripted drama in favour of a diet of reality TV,
Yeah.
just an endless diet.
That's my favourite thing about you.
Thank you.
It's incredibly nourishing, yeah.
It's so nourishing.
soul.
Yeah, and I just don't have a lot of time left over to devote to scripted drama. So, but I have completed reality TV so far. I've got one episode of Love Island that I still have to catch up on.
Okay.
And luckily, Real Housewives keeps dropping every week. But I had a quiet patch a few weekends ago. And so I started watching Your Friends and Neighbours. And it was one of those ones, my husband and I have vastly different TV tastes. And I thought this might just be the central point of our Venn diagram. So we watched the first episode together. And below me down, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good.
And I also went to the cinema on Friday with my best male friend, Ross, who was in charge of choosing the film that we watched. And he chose 28 Years Later.
Oh my God.
Which is not a fun,
not a
touchy-feely Friday
film,
night
no.
movie. And also the cinema that we went to had no aircon. And so it was incredibly hot. So it just added to the post-apocalyptic feel. But I have to say, again, there's a recurring theme here. Haven't seen either of the previous two movies because too busy watching Housewives. But I found it a very well-made movie. And yes, it's been quite divisive because it is quite horrifying. And Danny Boyle as a director does not pull his punches in terms of
No.
what he expects us to digest as an audience. But I found it very well made. And in the moments where it wasn't sort of terrifying and awful, the shots that Danny Boyle puts in and the way that he films are just so unique and compelling. The acting was very good. So Jodie Comer is just always a joy
she's
to watch.
insane.
She's
isn't
brilliant,
she?
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it? So zombies again taking
Yes,
over.
but there's this island community off the mainland where they're all safe. but there's a causeway that appears at low tide. And if they want to go onto the mainland, they take that causeway.
Right.
And so it starts off with the character played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson taking his son, who's turned 12, onto the mainland to learn how to hunt, and then go with a bow and arrow, and they hunt zombies. And then the story unspools because the little boy's mother, played by Jodie Comer, is ill and he wants to find her medical care, and they no longer have doctors on the island. So he goes in search of this mythical former GP, played by Ralph Fiennes, who again,
wow.
I just
What
him
cast?
names.
I didn't
It's
realise it was
incredible
that big a
cast.
cast. Yeah.
And Ralph Fiennes obviously has always been brilliant, but he's just entered a turbocharged era of his professional career, I think. He's so brilliant. And he really redeems the film from being too traumatic. There's like a heart there by the end of it.
Okay.
So yes, those are my two new and noteworthy.
That kind of makes me want to watch it. My TV watching has been a lot less highbrow. The Summer I Turned Pretty came back. Have you ever watched this?
I watched the first season, yeah.
Okay, I'm obsessed.
I need to watch it.
It's so good, but I feel like there is such an appeal to millennial women
Yeah.
in this series, even though it's kind of garnered towards a Gen Z crowd.
Yeah.
What was
Like
really
you and
funny.
Lou are obsessed.
Me and Lou are obsessed. They've only released the first 2 episodes last week, and then every Tuesday following there will be a new episode. And the first 2 were actually quite underwhelming, and the acting was quite awful. But I don't know. There's just this like I think about it all week that I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait.
I used to be like that about
watch.
Friends at uni when Friends was on once a
Yeah.
week on a Thursday, and we'd all stay in and then go out afterwards.
And as
It's
great
so
as
fun.
binging
Yeah.
series is quite nice to like not have it all in a rush.
Yeah.
It is.
And like pull it out a little bit. But anyway, if you haven't watched Summer I Turned Pretty, it is very good.
I feel it's like Dawson's Creek.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
In
I
that,
love
like it's set
Dawson's
like on the
Creek.
beach, and
Yes.
everyone's pretty and easy to watch, and you know
It's
sort
very
and
easy
like
to
coming of
watch.
age.
Yeah.
I feel that's what
The music's very good. It's very like it's very considered for what it is. Like there was like a soft, romantic fireplace scene, and they play the exact same music that's in Call Me by Your Name when there's a soft romantic fireplace scene. Like it really does appeal to a millennial. woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Which brother are you rooting for?
I am Team Conrad, who's
Okay.
the older, brooding.
Oh yeah, me too.
That's my version of Housewives.
Yes.
It's like easy switch
Yeah,
on TV.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that about Housewives. It actually is an anthropological exercise in empathetic engagement with the human race. But yeah, sure. For you can switch off.
I do switch on. I've never watched any Housewives.
No, nor
ever.
have I. It's weird because I love reality TV.
You're in the right place. I can just give you a primer.
Okay, fine.
If you ever want to start, you should start with The Real Housewives of New York.
Okay.
The OG Roni is, to my mind, the best TV program
Okay.
that exists.
Amazing.
Okay.
And then Atlanta is also excellent.
I have heard good things about
Because it's
Atlanta.
so extra.
Yes, it's also just so genuine to begin with, because those are 2 really OG franchises. So they
Yeah.
start before Housewives became the cultural behemoth that it now is.
Okay.
So if you start with more modern seasons like Salt Lake City or Potomac, both of which are brilliant, particularly Salt Lake City, but every single cast member is much more aware of
Yeah.
what Housewives is.
Yeah.
Whereas
It's like Love Island.
Exactly. It's the arc of reality TV,
Yeah.
I often think.
Completely.
That sort of season 3 is the mainstream.
Yes.
And then any season after that, it slightly loses
It's
a bit
some of
bleak.
its.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too overproduced.
like
and
it's
people are too
never been
self-aware.
as good as Olivia Atwood.
I agree, and that was
season.
season 3.
Yeah, that was the best season.
I have
with
to
her
say
and
that I
Chris.
do think Love Island is having quite a good season.
I haven't watched it. Have you watched it? The girls in the office are obsessed, but
I really struggle with Love Island.
Yeah.
I'm just like, be more ratchet. Like they all just got too contrived.
yeah, they're not allowed
Like,
to drink.
you
Are
can
they?
only have 2 drinks. You can't.
Yeah.
Remember when it was like, can we have a chat by the fire pit, and everyone would just tap
Be
cigs
sm- I know.
snog each other, and then shag someone else the next night. Like, bring that back.
They are actually doing more shagging this season though.
Yeah, it got-
and
it
no
got
one's
so
closed
tame,
off.
didn't
It did get
it?
really, yeah.
Imagine shagging on national TV.
I had a drink this weekend with a friend of mine. He used to be a producer on BBC Three's Sex, Son and Suspicious Parents.
I love that program so
I
much.
haven't heard of it.
My French teacher went on.
Stop
yeah,
it.
she was a suspicious parent.
It was like a forerunner to Love Island in a way. It was about these teenagers who would be sent to like Faliraki.
Yeah, it's like
And
your
the-
18-year-old like group trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
But their parents, without their knowing, would have a live stream to everything they were doing.
Oh my god!
And so the program followed both, and I was like, wow, that was old school reality TV. You wouldn't get away with that
so
nowadays.
savage. And then they would fly the parents out, and then they would just like drop the parents on the strip. So when the kids came out of the bar, they were just like there naked, doing terrible things. But
no one wants to see their child on stage. No one. So that ignited your love of reality TV.
No, actually, fair. No, I'm not that bad. No, Big Brother ignited my love of reality TV. The first ever season, which was a moment of
Who
national
won that?
conversation.
Is it Craig?
It was Craig, the builder, and he donated his money to a Down syndrome charity, or for the care of his, I think it was his younger sister.
Yeah.
And that was the season of Nasty Nick.
Yes.
Where the nastiest thing we could imagine a reality TV contestant doing was writing down the names of people he wanted to nominate and trying to get people on his side to nominate them with him. That was it was
Times have moved on.
Honestly, like questions were asked in Parliament, and now it just seems
that is
so
nothing.
okay, our next section is fashion find. So we are going to talk all things, what's in your basket, what you're wearing, what you're loving.
We just went on this weekend away, and I wanted something new to wear, but I couldn't find anything. And I did a massive ASOS order, and nothing looked good. And I was like, fuck. Anyway, I popped to Battersea Power Station and went to Reformation. Reformation is a goodie. I forget about that. I just think their dresses are so sexy. So I got this. It's like a white, thick, like jersey dress, but like tight, and then goes out at the knee. It made me feel a bit like I was Eva Mendes in Hitch.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great reference point. I spend so much of my life wanting to look like that.
That's the first dress I've ever tried on. I was like, I couldn't be Eva Mendes, but I was like, this is her vibe in Hitch, because that's my favourite outfits in a film, Hitch. She looks amazing. And then while I was in there, we're going to Bali for our holiday this year, and I found a really like cute little yellow, like mustardy yellow linen mini dress, which is just really simple but flattering, like a round neck, and then just tight, and then flares out so you can eat. I've bought a really nice sheer Chloe-esque blouse from Zara, which is like 30 quid.
Lovely.
Yeah, so nice. But like you'd wear a bra under it, but it's sheer, but there's enough like layering over the boob bit that
you feel too naked.
Yeah.
Good shopping haul, Hodge.
That was good. Was that the Zara and Battersea Power Station?
No, that was online.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you about sheer, because I, in my recent finds,
tell me.
I've always struggled because I don't like to feel naked, because I do feel too old for that.
Yeah, me too.
And the Frankie shop did an amazing sheer shirt that I bought, which is like a dark navy.
Yeah.
And it's got pockets over the boob area so that you don't feel like you're just flailing around. And I love the colour of it, because sometimes I find navy can be, on me, too deadening. But because of the sheer, there's this slight glimmer to it that really works. So I love that shirt. I love the Frankie shop generally.
Me too.
One of the things I'm struggling with, and maybe I need to trawl the Frankie shop sale, is trousers that aren't jeans and aren't black that I want to wear on a day-to-day basis.
I mean, I love a white chino.
Where do you get them from?
Yaitte do a really good white chino.
Oh, this is so helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go and buy some chinos.
They're really good. But go small, because the sizes are quite oversized.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Having said that, I am a jeans fanatic, and I think at the moment the best denim you can get at the best price point is Aligne. I love Aligne anyway, and I was lucky enough to do a collaboration with them earlier this year. Yeah. But I'm not just saying this because I have a great relationship with them. But their denim capsule at the moment has jeans for everyone. And the one that I particularly like, they are slightly flared bootcut jeans.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I also love a flared jean, but you need to wear them with a certain kind of boot. Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas these aren't too flared, but they're flared just enough to be super flattering.
Yeah.
And to balance out, if, as I am, you have like, you're more hippie, it just like balances that out.
Yeah.
And they're in a really nice, I've got them in a kind of indigo denim.
Yeah.
So I really like them.
I've got a few Aligne jeans. They're really good shapes. The barrel jeans are really good shapes. And didn't they do the studded one?
They did that.
Yes.
That went crazy on Christmas. It was like slightly washed black denim, wasn't it? With studs. But yeah, they do great dresses, great denim dresses too.
They do.
I love Aligne.
I love a denim dress.
And really good blazers.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great brand.
And they're always inventive with their shapes. And it always feels like they really know who their customer is. They really know the real women who will buy their clothes.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. The final thing I would say, I was mentioning to you two before we started recording, I am lucky enough to have got Oasis tickets this year.
Oh, what are you going to wear?
This is the thing, Hodge. I'm so glad you asked because I was like, okay.
When are you going? Who's going for? I'm going on the 30th.
Oh, I'm good. Of August.
No, of July.
Oh, you're going really soon.
Am I going first?
No, I'm going on the 26th.
Okay.
I'm going on the 2nd of August.
Okay.
I'm excited
So,
for
Hodge,
all
you've
of
got to
us.
fly the flag of like what to wear to Oasis.
I feel people are wearing denim and then like band
a lot of
t-shirts.
Adidas. Yeah.
I've decided to go back to what I wore in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so I have ordered this is how sad I am. I've ordered official Oasis merch online.
I rate that though.
I know, me
Thank
too.
you. There is a really great t-shirt that is a collab with Adidas.
Yeah.
And it's red and pale blue. And I love that colourway anyway.
So nice.
So I bought that. And then I bought a white denim miniskirt in the Net-a-Porter sale from Wardrobe NYC.
Lush, can't go wrong.
And then I've got a white bucket hat from Adidas that I might wear.
Yeah, fit.
And then I'm not sure about the shoes
Yeah, what
yet.
are you thinking? Are you in the mosh pit or are you in, if you got to
we're
see?
We're in Club Wembley, which is
Lush.
which is a special ticket where you get to, there's lots of bars and stuff, and you get to, Justin and I did, my husband and I did it for Taylor Swift. And it
So
was
good.
a very nice experience. We got there early. We shared a bottle of champagne.
I
so we're
know.
going to do that, which we weren't doing
We're
in
in the
90s.
mosh pit. I'm slightly
Oh, wow.
nervous.
Oh no, that'll be brilliant.
Yeah, but I think if you're a real fan, you want that at a concert. Like you want to be in the thick of it with everyone who's like obsessed, die hard.
I am so excited. I've never been so excited about going to a concert ever.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be so.
I
It's going to be
know.
so like thrilling to
And
see
so
this live.
moving.
Yeah.
It's actually so moving. I mean, I know that there's cold hard cash at stake.
Yeah.
But there's some in this time of division when the whole world seems so chaotic and awful and depressing, to see those two brothers holding hands, walking out
I
on stage
know.
together. Nature is healing.
Yeah, but I don't want to burst your bubble, but apparently they come off stage and just go completely separate
rehearsal
directions.
rooms. Yeah. They know their boundaries now. That's
Exactly.
fine. As long as they're on stage together when I'm there on the 2nd of August,
Yeah, I know.
please stay together until then.
Yeah.
Where were we? Fashion Box.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
What about you, babe?
I have also been on the Frankie shop trawling because I'm going to go back to Ibiza at the end of August, and I just want I want a really crisp white long shirt.
Like a poplin.
Okay.
Yes, I will
Yeah.
inevitably ruin it within 5
I
minutes,
know.
but like for those first 5 minutes, I'll feel great. And the Frankie shop have got this amazing one that's like floor sweeping, thigh high split, super oversized,
Oh,
big collar, big sleeves, big everything.
love that.
And then there's this gorgeous Australian brand, Dinosaur Designs. You know,
Yeah,
James?
I love
Yes.
their
Oh my-
bangles.
their bangles are
So
amazing.
good.
All their jewelry
Not
is so
inexpensive,
good.
Yeah,
but worth
great
it.
colours.
Yeah.
The piece I want is obviously really expensive, but they've just launched this new collection, and it's like this. It sounds strange. It looks like bones, but
Yeah.
kind of like wishbones in this sort of chrome granite-y chokery necklace, and it just looks really statement, really cool. And yes, you can identify that they are bones, but in a chic fashion.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we first met in person, which was the British Fashion Awards last year?
Yeah.
The bangles I was wearing, they were Dinosaur.
Were they?
Yes.
You looked amazing.
You
I
looked
love
amazing.
That. I love that. You remember each other.
It was our meet
outfit.
cute.
It
Yeah.
was on cute. You were in this gorgeous floor-length Bernadette dress.
And you were in a black one-shoulder dress.
Yeah.
Guys, sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting
With silver
something.
bangles. I feel like we could talk fashion finds and music for the rest of this episode,
Yeah.
but let's move on to Mustn't Miss.
Should we start with you?
Well, I appreciate that. I would say this, wouldn't I? But I have a new novel out on the 25th of September called One of Us, and pre-orders really, 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 really help. And so I would love the chance to talk to your amazing listeners about
Please
One
do.
of Us, which is a companion piece to an earlier novel I wrote called The Party, which came out in 2017.
Can I just say?
Yes, Billie.
I loved it so
Oh,
much. I read that
thank
when I was at
you.
Elle, and Lottie Jeffs she recommended it to me. And I actually just told my sister this weekend, I gave her my old copy that's been in my room for years and years. Anyway, it's fantastic. And if you haven't read The Party, read The Party.
Oh, Billie, thank you. Well, The Party was partly inspired by the movie of The Talented Mr. Ripley, which is one of my favourite movies of all time. And I know it's based on a book that I hadn't read at the time, but now I have read. And it was that idea of kind of outsidership. And it was about a scholarship boy who became fixated on his aristocratic best friend at boarding school. Now, one of us picks up 7 years later, and it's still the same characters. You don't need to have read The Party beforehand. But we open with Martin Gilmore 7 years later, still feeling like a bit of an outsider, and he has been nursing a grudge against his former best friend, the aristocratic Ben Fitzmaurice, for almost a decade because of something that happened when they were students. And Ben Fitzmaurice is now in the upper echelons of the Tory party, and he's tipped as the future Prime Minister. And for various reasons, Martin gets ushered back into the fold, and it's about how he seeks his revenge and how it plays out. And then alongside those two, there's a cast of other characters. There's Ben's wife, Serena, who is going through the menopause, going through an identity crisis. It was a character I loved writing because I was going through perimenopause myself, and I wanted to reflect the truth of that as it is for so many women on the page. Then there's their eldest daughter, Cosima, who is an eco-activist, although her parents don't know that. And then there's a failed Tory MP called Richard Take, who is desperately ambitious and desperately wants to get back on the front benches. And all of their stories intertwine, and you read to find out what happens. And essentially it's a book about why we keep falling in love with the people who damage us, why we keep electing them too. It's also about belonging and identity and class. And if you loved things like Succession or Industry or Saltburn or The Talented Mr. Ripley, I believe that you will also love this book. And I hope it's funny too.
It will be funny.
Oh, The Party
you are
was
so
funny.
I
It
read
was
The
so
Party.
entertaining, yeah.
And did they go to uni?
They did.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
went to school
remember.
and uni
so
together.
good. I can't believe you wrote that.
Oh,
that.
didn't you?
I love
Oh,
that.
thank you.
I got a forward copy, so I've been saving it to read on my holiday, and I'm so excited now.
Oh.
I love like a long, winding story set over like years, you know,
Me too.
because you really get to know the characters and the different like relationships that play out.
Yeah, and I also love multi-voice narratives. I love reading that, and I also love watching it. So like the movies of Robert Altman, they're always so good because they intersperse all of these stories and you don't know why they're connected, but when you keep on watching, you find out why. So that's part of the psychological driver of this novel, is that you want to see how all of these stories interconnect. And there's a whole bit set in Bali.
Oh,
I know you're both about to go there.
Oh, well, I need to pre-order so I can take it with me.
You
to
should.
Bali.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a whole bit set in Canggu.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
going.
that's where you went.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm going to read that.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, love that.
Thank you.
I'm a big
So
fan of those
clever.
intertwining narratives.
Yeah, me too.
I just feel like you're rooting for somebody even if it isn't the person you think you should
Yes.
be rooting for.
So
because
true.
there's like, this character's lingering and this character's lingering, and I just find it fascinating.
It's such a joy and a privilege getting to write books. And the podcast that I do, How to Fail, it's sort of directly linked because I get to interview people about what it is to be human, and so many different people from so many different backgrounds. And ultimately, one of us is also about failure and how we manage it and how we either live in denial of it and then that shapes us, or we learn from it and then that shapes us. And so all of the characters have different approaches to failure. And it's all connected. All the work that I do ultimately is about being interested in human nature.
Yeah.
Or nosy. Nosy
I
AF
love
is another
that.
way of putting it.
You must have so many like different like personality types in your head. You can read people's MO and you're like, okay, got you. I mean,
yes. I mean, I guess we all have it, don't we? Because of the nature of what we do.
Yeah.
We do get to ask questions of people, and it's incredible because you can only learn through asking those questions and through connecting and sort of trying to understand what it is to walk a mile in another person's shoes.
And sometimes you can see yourself in other people's and their behaviors, and you're like, okay, now I get why I do that.
Exactly.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, when I went away to shoot the Rixo campaign, one of the models was Aries, and she said to me, I'm also Aries, and she was like, well, obviously you talk to your Aries friends about that. And I was like, I actually don't really have it, like that many close Aries friends. She was like, you need that because that is what makes you understand you. And I find it so fascinating since, because we'll like message about something, or I'll talk to another person who's Aries and I'm like, I thought I was just being a maniac, but maybe we are together, and that sort of validates that experience.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that unless you asked the questions. And I think it's what I find so interesting is, yes, we're all very similar in that we are very communicative and we're interested and we like people. But then when you meet someone who doesn't ask questions, I'm like, what goes through your head?
I know. And I went
really
through a whole
odd.
patch of dating in my late 30s when that was the case, because I was so practiced at the art of small talk that eventually gets deeper. And because I'm genuinely interested, I would have so many dates and they would turn to me halfway through and they'd be like, I feel like I'm being interviewed. And I was like, well, mate, feel free to ask a question back.
Yeah.
Internal monologue, didn't actually say that. I really notice when people ask questions back.
Hodge, what is on your mustn't miss?
Lou and I filmed a fashion segment last week with Nadia Phillips, who's a stylist who has got the most insane style. I've never felt more jealous of a wardrobe. And we went to her apartment and we filmed. She's just got a really good evening style. Like I always stick to the same formula, isn't it? Good to mix it up. Anyway, she does like 8 dresses that she wears in the evening for summer dressing, and it's
Gorgeous.
banging. It's out Tuesday, so by the time this pod it'll already be out, but very inspirational.
Definitely gonna watch that.
Yeah, it's excellent.
I am itching to talk about the Coldplay concert.
Jumbotron.
That was the response I wanted from that.
Oh my god.
What I have loved the most to come out of all of it is just the memes.
Yeah.
And that's what's reminding me, like the internet can be so great. Like it can be so damaging in so many ways. But when it collectively comes together to maybe harass slightly, but to make light of a very quite serious situation, I'm like, well done, the internet.
It's
They are
wild.
increasing.
It is crazy.
So if you haven't seen, there was a couple who were spotlighted at a Coldplay concert, Jumbotron. It was kind of kiss cam sort of thing. And what happened was, so the man was behind the woman, arms around her, obviously very much enjoying the Coldplay concert. The camera pans to them and the blind panic that runs across this couple who are very clearly having an affair, that Chris Martin actually says, either shy or having an affair, because she immediately turns around, covers her face, and he just ducks down to the floor. And it's come out that he's the CEO of this tech company, Astronomer, and she was the head of HR. And they both have respective partners and families and very much were having an affair.
Oh my god.
I think there are 2 stories that are separate but run concurrently. One is the story of 2 people cheating on their spouses and decimating their family lives.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out to
Yes.
all of them, all of the people involved, because I believe they also have children, and that's a really difficult situation to be in. That story runs in parallel to, as you say, Billie, the internet uniting. The internet uniting in
uniting. And, you know, like we have been crumbling as a collective for a long time. And I am, you know, I'm with you. I do feel for those families who are obviously affected by this. But the memes that have brought everyone together is hysterical.
I can't remember the last moment that brought everyone together like this.
That like egg that wanted to get like 100 million likes or something on Instagram.
I also read something that said, if only they hadn't reacted like that, because their spouses are not sitting at home watching live streams of the Coldplay Jumbotron. I'm not advocating this, but if they hadn't reacted in that way, people would have just assumed it was a normal couple.
Yeah.
But the memes have been hilarious. There's the one that sticks in the mind is just Chris Martin at the piano with a kind of winky emoji face. And the caption is, CEOs hate to see this guy coming.
I saw Joanne McNally she put something up and it was her mum and they were in the car and the mum kept going, "He's just so unlucky. I mean, it's just so unlucky." And she was like, "You're missing the point, Mum. He was having an affair." She's like, "But of all the people the camera could..." I was like,
I mean, the
it's really
timing
great.
on it is quite spectacular.
Shit.
And then the fact that he calls out that they must be having an affair.
I know.
What's so interesting is my friend Louise works in marketing and she's been sharing like a few things on her stories of how like the interest in the company has gone up exponentially because everyone's obviously Googling it. So their shares have also gone up
the Justin
hugely.
Bieber
Oh my
move.
God.
And they're like, were they having an affair? Or
Yeah.
was this just brilliant PR on the off chance that the Jumbotron at the Coldplay concert got them?
Oh my
There
God.
was this other meme, which was a fake resignation statement from Andy. Is it Byron?
Byron, yeah.
Who was the CEO, saying, I've taken some terrible actions over the last few days. I'm so ashamed. I've let my family down. I've let my loved ones down. It's time for me to admit that, yes, I am a Coldplay fan. Which is harsh, because I'm actually going to a Coldplay concert at the end of August.
When 30th of August.
Oh,
Well, hopefully if the shares have gone up, then the wife will get a better payout.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, like horrendous to have your life played out that
Yeah.
publicly. But yeah.
all credit to her, though. She apparently deleted her married name from her Facebook profile within minutes.
so nobody could find her.
Yeah, and then deleted the entire profile.
Yeah, clever girl.
Yeah, smart.
It's
Yeah.
madness how it has spun so big and so wide. Like it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
Like every news outlet then posted about it on Instagram, which I thought was madness.
Yes.
Like the BBC, the Guardian, the Independent, every single outlet like posted. Yeah, it's fine for people to stitch it on TikTok and then give their hot take, but I thought it was quite crazy that
Also, now it's being recreated
yeah.
with other Jumbotrons at other
Yeah.
sporting matches around the world.
Yes, and like people are dressing as them.
Yes.
Oh my
in the
God.
hopes that they'll get on camera and they'll do the
Oh
moment.
my God.
I do.
like a Pitbull concert.
I do love how the internet can be such a deeply unserious place.
Yeah.
That they
Yeah.
we just decide that this is the moment. And there's so much joy to be had in that decision. Like of all the moments, this is the one.
Yeah, this
So
is
it's
it.
going to go global.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Great for Chris
crazy,
Martin
crazy,
as well.
crazy.
I know.
Did you see that Charli XCX got married?
Yes.
I was too
cute.
busy dancing
I
on a
know.
table. I missed it.
She got married this weekend in what I feel like has become the it wedding dress, like the mini Vivienne Westwood
Yeah.
dress. A friend of mine got married 2 weeks ago. She had the exact same. I feel like they also got married at the same town hall.
Oh my
exact
God.
same dress on, both obviously.
Where did she
looks
get married?
Banging.
Hackney Town Hall.
Hackney Town Hall.
Hackney Town
Oh no,
Hall.
Joyce didn't get married there, but similar vibe,
Yeah.
similar setting. And I find it so interesting that this Vivienne Westwood dress, like people get so precious about wedding dresses that it has to be really individual and it has to be their own and no one else could possibly wear
Yeah.
it. But like people are actively wanting to be part of this like tribe of Vivienne Westwood wearing brides.
I
think
know.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a different way to look at it.
What was your wedding dress like? God.
God, it was so long ago. We got married in Cornwall, so I didn't want anything too over the top, which feels weird for me to say now because I'm more over the top now. But so it was sort of like, it was from Philippa Lepley. It was a slip dress with like a lace overlay with like detailing on. I couldn't wear any underwear. It was...
Sure, James was thrilled.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't wear it again though. What did you wear?
I've had multiple wedding dresses because I've had multiple weddings. So I've been married twice.
Yeah.
And and each wedding I've had two elements to it. So the first one, there was a registry office, and then we got married in a university chapel. And the first one, there was a Vera Wang concession at Selfridges
Yeah.
that was closing down. I saw it advertised in the Evening Standard newspaper, and it opened on a Saturday. And somehow I called them up and managed to wangle my way in the day before.
Wow.
I'm not sure how I did it, but I did. And so I got a Vera Wang dress for £900.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They
Actually,
were like
there's a whole
15,000.
there's a whole story about that dress, in that it's objectively a beautiful dress, and it did have straps, so I took them off. Strapless, fishtail, very very fitted, and then like buttons all the way down
Very
the back.
like keeping up with the Kardashians era.
Yes.
Like Chloe and Kim
Yes.
first
Yes.
marriage.
And I
Got
wore
ya.
my grandmother's lace veil just on the back of my head, and then there was a kind of lace bolero a la Princess Kate at her wedding.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel me in it. And actually, I didn't really feel me in that marriage, hence it ending in divorce. Anyway, fast forward, I get divorced. I go through a few years of transition, and then I decide to launch a podcast called How to Fail. And in order to raise funds so that I could hire a sound engineer, I eBayed that wedding dress.
Did you?
Yes.
Wow.
And so actually it became a really beautiful
full
story
circle.
of like repurposing.
Yeah.
In the same way that I believe we can repurpose failures into lessons.
Yeah.
So that was my first wedding. Second wedding to Justin. It was during COVID. So we had one where we went to sign the register in between lockdowns. And that was probably my favourite outfit. And then we had another one when we could get 15 people together and they could sit outside and our family came. So the first one, Kate Halfpenny sorted me out.
Yeah.
Bless her. She reached out to me on Instagram and was like, let me dress you. And the first one, which was signing the register, was this high-waisted kind of palazzo pants in thick silk.
Gorgeous.
And then a off-white top that was backless. And then a jacket that went with the trousers that I took off for the ceremony and then put on again.
Yeah.
And that felt so me because I love a trouser suit with a twist.
Yeah.
And the backless nature of it was like sexy but elegant at the same time.
So gorgeous.
And then the second one, I also wore a Kate Halfpenny dress, which was like it was like almost like an Oscars gown, off the shoulder, fitted. And then this incredible overcoat that was like sheer tulle, maybe, overcoat, which you tie at the neck.
God.
And that was kind of fabulous. I'm very grateful to Kate for that.
Yeah.
So that's what I wore for all of my weddings.
Stunning.
But before Kate reached out to me, I'd actually bought myself a jumpsuit from Sophia. Is that who I
Yeah,
met?
yeah.
Yes, on Net-a-Porter, and I've never worn it. So I feel like
What colour is it?
It's ivory.
Oh.
So I feel like I keep saying to my husband, we need to have a big party because we never had a big wedding party.
Yes.
At some point, like when we're 10 years married or something, maybe I'll wear it then.
Yeah, lush.
Okay, fun. We can't wait to be there.
Yes, you will be.
We are going to jump into listener dilemmas, which is my favorite part of this podcast. And we've got some really, really, really good ones today. This is quite a big one. I want to reboot my life. I've fallen into a job as a teacher and I hate it. Where do I start and what do I do? I also have kids who are 6 and 8.
That's so hard. And the first thing that I want to say is good for you for thinking about this and being self-aware enough that you are not only able to identify how you're feeling, but you're able to write in and ask for advice. And that to me tells me that you are further ahead on this journey than maybe you think you are. If you're feeling this strongly about it, I do believe that you should make a change. And it's just about qualifying what the nature of that change is. So number one is to think, does it have to be changing your job, or are there aspects of your job that you could change in order to make it feel more fulfilling? Because I appreciate with your children 6 and 8, it's a difficult time to take a leap into the uncertain because you've obviously got to prioritize them and financial security, and being a teacher gives you good holidays, etc. If that doesn't work for you, then I am a firm believer in taking a measured risk, because there's nothing worse than feeling stagnant and stuck in your own life. And the skills that you've acquired as a teacher will be so transferable to multiple things. And I would ask yourself the question of, like, what are your passions? What are the things that make you feel fulfilled and lit up from the inside? And once you've identified that, is there a way of turning those passions into something that could earn you a decent living? And one way of doing this, don't laugh, because I know I've already mentioned it, is ChatGPT or your favorite AI. Asking your AI for help in really getting granular about how you can turn those passions into profit. I think that ChatGPT would have some very helpful advice. I also think, this is something that Justin said to me just a couple of days ago, when Tom Cruise wants to do something that seems completely outrageous, like he wants to do a death-defying motorcycle stunt in a Mission Impossible movie, he will write down the 1,000 things that he needs to do to get there. So he will break it down to that level. And then it becomes a step-by-step process. Because I think when you're looking down the barrel of a really drastic life change that can feel so overwhelming, that can also feel stuck.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you don't have to do 1,000, but ChatGPT could help you with this. What are the steps that you would need to take in order to remain financially secure and in order to leave your job? So that's the advice that I would give. And the final thing I would say is, I have never left a job and regretted it.
No, yeah.
Agreed.
It's always been one of the best things that I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that list is genius.
I know.
It's a good piece of advice.
Because I feel
isn't
it makes you, even if you're making teeny tiny steps, but you are changing things
It's still
and
progress.
moving
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
right direction. Such good advice.
The 0 to 1 is the hardest bit. Like the
Yes.
figuring out what you want.
That is the hardest bit.
Yeah, and also giving yourself permission to do it and saying I'm worth more than feeling unhappy in this current position, and what I want is valid and abundant to me if I follow these steps to get it there. But it's that, I think that getting your foot on the ladder is the hardest step. And if you've already acknowledged it, you're kind of, your toes already on there.
Exactly.
Because you've got to love what you do, because then it doesn't feel like work. And everyone deserves to be happy, and you shouldn't settle.
Exactly. Yes. And you could always go back to teaching. That's the thing. If you take this risk and it doesn't work out, teaching will always be there for you.
Completely.
Because you're already qualified. You've got loads of experience. That's an amazing position to be in.
Yeah. Good luck.
Great advice.
Let us know.
This one I feel like is very much how I would feel in a listener dilemma. I've always been a people pleaser, but it's starting to wear me down. How do I start putting myself first without feeling like I'm letting everybody else down? God, people pleasing is so tough, isn't it? Because I think it's such an inherent thing that you not grown up with, but it has grown up with you. If you are like a people pleaser from a young age, it is so ingrained in how you respond to people, how you act around people, how you treat yourself. Like it's
how you think you add value to a
100%.
situation.
Yeah.
You're not just like breaking a relationship up with like, okay, today I decide no longer to people please. Like it's in your, at least I feel that way. Like it's in my DNA to please people.
Yeah.
And it feels so selfish to consider myself first.
I mean, I also am a reformed people pleaser, and I still struggle with it, and also grew up with it, and also wrongly started to believe that I had to please others in order to be accepted, likable, lovable in relationships, in work situations. And it got to the stage where actually my people pleasing was so extreme that it wasn't selfless. It was the opposite, because I wasn't giving people the opportunity to know who I was, because I didn't know myself, because I was so busy trying to be the person I thought others wanted me to be that I just never got to know my own needs or desires. So I couldn't actually show up authentically in any relationship I had. And so a lot of those relationships ended. I mean, ultimately, I ended up being divorced in my mid-30s, partly because of it. And if you think of it like that, actually you realise that's selfish, not taking the time to know yourself and therefore be true to yourself in any relationship that you have.
Yeah.
It's so much easier said than done. But I do have a practical resource for you, listener, which is my best friend, Emma Reed Turrell, is an incredible psychotherapist. And she wrote a book called Please Yourself, which is a manual to how to understand and stop people pleasing and just have healthy relationships. And as Emma always says, a boundary is a point of connection. Actually, by putting a boundary in place and by saying, no, I won't be able to do that, I'm really sorry, I won't be able to come to that, you're making that person be able to trust you more, because they trust that what you say is the truth.
Yeah.
If you say no, they have more confidence in your yes.
Yes.
And not only that, they are genuinely closer to you because you've been real and authentic and honest to yourself about yourself. So that's
instead of just saying yes, bailing on the last minute because you don't feel like comfortable or confident or whatever that reason might be. You just
which
don't want
I
to go
still
anymore.
do.
And then you've pissed people off, and they're like, well, you know, they're a flake and not trustworthy, and
then you're in this cycle because then you're trying to please them because you know you've upset them.
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you feel guilt.
Yeah.
You end up feeling that you're a terrible person.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to mitigate that again. And I just want to absolve you of that misplaced guilt, and that actually you are enough to take the risk of saying no to some people.
Okay, this is our last dilemma for today. My best friend and I are in totally different life stages. She's just had a baby and I'm single and focused on my career. I love her, but I feel like we have nothing in common anymore. How do I navigate the growing distance without losing her?
I so feel your pain, and I have been there. I don't have children. I tried and failed for 12 years to have my own child. And during that time, so many of my friends seem to be popping out babies with ease.
Yes,
and
so hard.
It's really hard. And it's also hard for the friends who are young parents because their life changes dramatically. Some friendships did not survive that time. And the friendships that did were always the friendships that made space for the friendship.
Yes.
In the midst of whatever else is going on in your life. And that does not have to mean going on a mini break every month.
No.
It doesn't actually have to mean that much FaceTime. What it means is that your friend can reassure you that they are still thinking of you and that there is still space for you in their life, whether that's a voice note, whether it's just a text. But one thing that my best friend Emma did, which I'm so appreciative of, is, she's got 2 children. And when they were young, not only would she always make a point of asking me about where I was at with my fertility, but she would always make time when I went down to stay there for 10 minutes for the 2 of us just to have coffee on our own. Even if the kids were around, like we would be at a breakfast bar. And I was like, no, don't worry. She's like, no, I want this. I need this. I value this. And that made me feel appreciated. And I hope that I did the same for her in return. And I think that a really good friend will completely understand if you raise this with loving clarity, because the chances are that your friend is feeling it too. And that she regrets and misses the friendship and that she is at a different life stage and you both are, and that's okay. And the final thing I'd say is that friendships go through evolutionary phases, and maybe you'll be less close in this phase. And maybe you will still be very close. But if you are less close in this phase, the other thing that I can tell you, I'm 46 now, and the joy is they come back. When their children go to secondary school, then you get friendships back in the most beautiful, evolved and enlightened ways. So don't lose hope, because it could come back to you.
Completely.
That's great advice.
Great advice.
Oh, no notes, nothing to add.
No, same.
Oh my God.
I know. Your
Elizabeth
friends are
Davis
so
has
lucky.
Guys, it's been so long.
I've had so much fun. Can we do this every week?
Yes, please.
What a treat. How do we
With
get to all
martinis
this
and
work?
French fries?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, love that.
bliss.
We need to compare Oasis notes anyway.
We do.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
on
that
the
sounds-
next one.
We'll get a date in the diary. That wraps up this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the conversation, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share the episode with a friend. Oh, and don't forget to enter our latest competition, which you'll find all the details for over on our Instagram page.